Nearly 50,000 dock workers continue their strike as shipments remain halted at East Coast and Gulf Coast ports. The strike has seen goods from automobiles to food and clothing piling up in containers at 36 ports stretching from Maine to Texas. Now, these workers went on strike against the U.S. Maritime Alliance, or the USMX, on Tuesday after months of stalled contract negotiations. The International Longshoremen's Association, which is the largest union for maritime workers on the East Coast, seeks salary hikes, better working conditions, and job security amid growing automation.
The ILA is fighting for respect, appreciation, and fairness in a world in which corporations are dead set on replacing hardworking people with automation. Employers push automation under the guise of safety, but it is really about cutting labor costs to increase their already exceptionally high profits.
Our fight is with these foreign-owned carriers that have made billions of dollars on the backs of longshore men and women for too long.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yay.
We're gonna fight this thing until we get the contract we deserve. We're not looking for more than we deserve. We're just looking for what we deserve.
However, the lack of progress in negotiations has raised concerns among those reliant on these ports for business. According to a J.P. Morgan analysis, the ongoing strike could cost the American economy around $5 billion every single day that workers are in fact on strike. Experts say the strike could spike the prices of automobiles, furniture, food, and several other consumer goods. And the United States could tip
higher in the grocery store.
Day 2 of the port strike as more than 40,000 dock workers are asking for more pay and protections against automation.
The union has support from President Biden, and now the truckers who would also haul these ships' cargo on the road are also throwing their support. The truck drivers could also be out of a job once final deliveries are made from what's already at the docks. But they were seen honking their horns as they drove past picket lines today. And while we still don't know how long this strike might last, we do know how much it could hurt the economy if this goes on.
Is typically not the growing season of the U.S. So if this prolongs a month, 2 months, 3 months, be prepared to see prices relatively higher in the grocery store.
And it will certainly hurt the U.S. economy. The estimates are $5 billion a day could be lost in the U.S. economy. This map shows shipments expecting to come into the East Coast. That's about 120 ships on their way here with no one to unload their cargo once they get there. Outside of New York and New Jersey ports, several ships have already dropped anchor. They're now waiting, cooling their heels for the strike to end.
The dock worker strike may have this ripple effect. It likely will, all the way across the country, including here in Arizona, depending on how long this lasts.
Fox 10's Brian Webb live with details tonight. Brian.
Well, guys, up to 60% of all imports come into this country from the East Coast and the Gulf Coast. The good news, mostly it's not the things you find at the store, food, water, or even toilet paper, but that's not stopping some shoppers from stocking up. This video from inside a big box store shows shoppers loading pallets full of toilet paper and water, a repeat performance of the pandemic.
I think that I'm stocking up on just everything that I possibly can because I think the grocery stores are going to be empty.
I really don't think it's affecting anybody in there. They're just getting what they normally would get from the looks of things.
The strike could impact everything from car components to clothes and some perishable foods like bananas, but not the staples you find at the store.
Our ports are the front door of the country and of our supply chains. And they're sort of closed right now on one side of the country. And especially for things coming from South and Central America and for Europe, that's going to be a big issue.
Roger says most of the items like food, water, toilet paper, and baby formula are produced in the U.S. and do not need to be imported. But things like bananas, chocolate, coffee beans, and some alcohol do. So they may be delayed and end up costing more.
It's not really a matter of we're not going to be able to get stuff here because there is other ways into the country. The problem is they're going to be more expensive ways. And we will see some inflation probably reflected as an impact of this strike if the strike goes on for more than 2 or 3 weeks.
And the longer the strike lasts, the bigger mark it'll make.
I don't think it'll be a problem.
You don't think it'll be?
Because, when it's COVID, it's different. Because when COVID, everything have to be shut down because they are afraid to be sick.
It'll eventually wear off. So I already had stocked up for a while now. I replenish mine every so often. Since COVID, I replenish.
Zach Ross.